Dan Jourdain. Katie Winborn Farmer. Sean Sunderland. Who's Sean? Michael Guest, flying from Australia to the Department of Women. And Scott Benson. Right, if I could ask Jess Ramos to come up to the stage, please. Look, we had some amazing finals played in all the grades. So Jess is going to hand out the under-22 ladies awards tonight. So the first match was Auckland took on Canterbury in the bronze final. Auckland scored 85 and Canterbury came home with 106. So we get the Canterbury under-22 girls side up playing. The umpire for that final was Katie Winborn Farmer. Just before we get on to the final, I just wanted to recognise the team. Guys, I'll just have your attention just for a minute. Just before we get on to the final, I just wanted to recognise the team that came here this week. And the amazing work that's been happening in this region in Wellington. The development girls side that came this week, absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? They won their first match and they were pretty close to getting into the final of the third versus fourth. So well done girls. Well done. So we'll get on to the grand final. The grand final was played between Northern District and Wellington. Northern District scored 52 and Wellington came home with 91. If we could get Northern District's runners up to come up, please. 2025 under 22 duel, Wellington. We'll get him to come up, and just a few of you got those. Fantastic. So from Auckland, Audrey Millich. Anna's not well, so she's not here. Well done, Anna. We just had something trip this marvellous. So your overall MVP for 2025 from Wellington, now McChrystal. The other 22 boys was an amazing comp. There were so many close matches. The bronze final was an absolute epic match. Wellington scored 124, and Indy just got over the top, getting the bronze medal with 125. So Indy, please come up and get your bronze medal. And it saw Auckland take on Central Districts. Central Districts put on a great score of 126, and Auckland came up just short with 100. So we have Auckland come forward and receive the runners-up medal. Wellington, Nathan Edmund. From Northern Districts, Ruben Carter. From Canterbury, Josh Whitley. From Southern Districts, Leo Bridgman. And from Central Districts, Pal Singh. And your overall MVP for 2025, Ruben Carter, ND. Right, so we'll get into the women's finals. The bronze final was played between Canterbury and Wellington. Canterbury scored 49 and Wellington came out with 107. Where the women from Wellington come and get their bronze medal, please. The grand final was played between Auckland and ND. They had some great tussles during the week. I think they played each other 3 times. We could get our runners-up Northern Districts to come forward, please. fantastic journey effort. Auckland. And the MVP for the women's grade for 2025, Rachel Bryan. The New Zealand coach is coming up to hand out the awards for the men's.
It's too short.
I
can't see him.
So the bronze medal match was played between... Guys, we're almost there. We're almost there. The bronze match was played between Wellington and Canterbury, and Canterbury got up over Wellington to collect the bronze medal for the Canterbury men's title. Come forward, please. played between Auckland and Central District, and one of the closest matches that we had all weekend, and that's the brilliant final. Both teams did amazingly well. Auckland just got over the top and we could ask Central Districts to come up and receive their runners-up medals, please. And the grand final winners for 2025, beating Central Districts 85 to 86. Auckland men.
I'll lose it.
Oh, we want the Asia Cup one as well to give to Wellington. The one that's sitting
To give to Wellington?
yeah, just so they can have a turn.
Right. Let's have a little bit of hush. We've got a couple more to get through, and then we'll have a bit of a break. If I could ask Mr. Sonny Chan to come forward, please. we hand out at the Provincials. And it's pretty special to a lot of people here that have played with, have been part of this person's life. And Brian Herman took his life, I think it was 3 years ago. Yeah, I think it was 3 years ago. And he was a pretty special kid. I played with him in the Colts grade really early on, and he played for New Zealand. And he was a really special kid, and he had an older brother, Paul, that looked after him and saw him through things. But Brian couldn't find his way through on that particular day, and the message that we've kind of talked about is, if you're ever in a bad place, to talk to someone. It doesn't matter who it is, just talk to them, tell them how you're feeling, and get some help. And so this award is in recognition of Brian, and he did some amazing things for indoor cricket. Grew up in Australia a little bit, family owned an indoor cricket centre in Australia, came over and played for North Harbour for many years, and played for New Zealand. I think, I'd have to be corrected, but I think he played sort of 6 or 7 times for New Zealand, so he was a big part of our culture. So there's a really special carving that unfortunately didn't make it here tonight, but we will get it to the recipient, and it's handed out to the player of the final that is picked by a group of about 8 people that watch the match, and it's not necessarily who scored the most runs, who did whatever else. It's a little bit about the prestige of this award. So Mr. Sonny Chan is going to announce who won it.
Evening all. As what I said, it's a pretty huge award for a lot of us, but I'll keep it short. The player of the final for the Brian Herman Trophy, Victor Davies.
Right, we'll just run quickly through the MVP for the men's grade. From Auckland, Stacey Herman. From Wellington, Jack Gaskin. That tells a true story right there. We've ordered a wheelchair for you, it's all right, it's coming. From ND, Brendan Raj. From Calgary, Mitch Gardner. From Central Districts, Rob Sherry. And from Southern Districts, Sam Williamson. And your overall winner for the MVP for the men's 2025, Stacey Herman. We'll get on with a couple of other awards, and then we'll get on with the dessert. So you can just bear with me just for a couple of minutes. We'll do a couple of these awards, and then we'll have a little bit of dessert, and then we'll name some New Zealand sides. We've all been waiting for. So. The first award that we're doing tonight is one of the things that the New Zealand Board, one of the things the New Zealand Board has tried to do is put a bit of recognition around some real milestones in our game. So we have a few different milestones. Mike, my assistant, who's done a fabulous job all week. A few different milestones. We have the black cap, which is presented to a women's player or men's player that have played 50 tests for women or men. So it's a pretty special cap. There's not many, and you'll find out how many we've got of those. We also have what we call the grey cap, which is black and white. We call it the grey cap when they're mixed together. This is for 50 tests, and you could have played for the juniors for New Zealand. You could have played for the men's. You could have played for masters. So we've got a number of people that have got those, and you'll see those a little bit later. But we've now got another recipient that's going to be receiving a 100 test caps. There's two others that have received that. Both were supposed to be here tonight. Lee Kelly unfortunately is sick, but he was supposed to be here. So I'm going to ask somebody to come up and present this next one. So here he comes now. Here he comes. Mr. Michael Redunski is going to present the award.
It's a real honour to have been asked to say a few words about this man, Paul Andy Anderson. Andy is a stalwart of Hamilton Indoor. I met him in the early 2000s. It was a while ago now at Alice Street Indoor Centre, where he was running an in-house competition. He introduced a group of us to Super League indoor cricket, and we very quickly got hooked, mainly due to his passion for the game. One of my favourite moments with Andy was our van trips up to Auckland each week for Super League. At the time, Andy was working for a company called Total Furniture, and he had a van with no seat belts, no seats, and there was weekly 4 to about 20 of us that would be piled in the back, trundling up the highway for Super League indoor cricket. Paul never asked for petrol money. He never complained about late night drop-offs after a few cans on the way back. And I'm sure many people still look back at those trips as some of their favourite times of their career. Andy was always a mentor for the young guys and taught a lot of us the fundamentals of the game and creating the foundations of future successes which many of us have had because of him. Andy began to take coaching roles in the late 2000s and launched what's become an amazing coaching career. He took guidance from the likes of Paul Botterill, Rob Boyston, Steve Hart, and became a consistent fixture in the NZ coaching setup. Andy has been a key component of 2 Masters World Series championships in 2013 and 2019, 2 Trans-Tasman Masters titles in 2017, and 2023, an Asian Cup title in 2023, and helped guide the under-22s to a World Cup victory in 2022. He's also been an integral member of the New Zealand Indoor Cricket Board and was an assistant coach on the New Zealand Men's 2014 World Cup side. Most importantly, he coached Rocket to 2 national titles in 2011 and 2013. And I firmly believe that without Andy, indoor cricket in Hamilton would pretty much cease to exist. Andy, your 100 test caps have been built around a care for your players, an ability to develop talent, and above all, selflessness that is second to none. You're a master of dealing with a wide range of challenges that arise while coaching, from developing logistics and tactics to managing players' emotions, normally mine, and weirdly nudity levels. The pride and manner displayed from your peers and players during the haka in last year's Masters World Series really showcased the respect you've earned within the game, within our game. You've been a special part of my life, and I've been so lucky to have you as both a mentor and a friend, and a very close friend. Congratulations on your 100th cap, and I'm sure there's many more to come. Long live the G-Banger.
Michael. I didn't realise you were that literate. Some very kind words. Just quickly as I look around, there's been a lot of people in this room that I've worked with, played against, even coached. So you've all helped shape my life, and I hope I've in some way helped shape your careers. So thank you very much.
So we'll move on to onto the presentation of our black caps tonight. We have 2 to present tonight. So if I could get the 4 gentlemen that are up there, that I think there are 3 of us up there now, to come up onto the stage. All these guys have represented New Zealand men's side with 50 caps. If you guys could all come up to the stage, please. Right, so it gives me great pleasure to ask the first recipient of the black cap to come up. He's played 50 tests for New Zealand. A lot of them has been as captain. He's been a phenomenal person around the New Zealand makeup. And you know, he's somebody that dies in the ditch, and really I'm very proud that he's managed to get 50 caps for New Zealand. Would Mr. Victor Davis please come on? The next person to get a black cap, and a little bit of a funny story with this guy. He better start walking now because he took a long time to get here before. So start walking now. A little bit of a funny story with this guy. He received his grey cap, his white and black cap a couple of years ago. He played 2 tests as a junior, so he got to 48 tests. But last year in Adelaide he got his 50th men's cap, Mr. Stacey Herman. Guys, we're getting to start on stage, because we're going to crowd the stage now. We're going to crowd the stage. We might move some of this back actually. We're going to crowd the stage because I'm going to ask, we'll chuck it on the screen, all these guys and women to come up here because all these people have represented New Zealand 50 times or more. So we'll chuck it up on the screen. If your name's up there, please come forward and stand up here. Absolute huge amount of history standing on the stage here. Amazing feat, all of you. 50 tests for your country. The amount of sport that we used to play back in the day, since about 87 I think, was the first one that we started. To get that many tests, for that many people to actually achieve that, is just a phenomenal effort. So we've got 2 new people to add to it tonight. And the first one I'm going to ask Mr. Robert Herman to come forward and say a few words.
Thanks very much. Thanks to Tony for asking me to do this presentation. It's such a privilege for me. This guy is very special and was part of the original World Cup team in 1995. And today he becomes only the second member of that team to reach 50 test caps. That's certainly a milestone that speaks to his commitment, consistency, and the love he has for this game. Along with his 7 playing caps, his coaching credentials include 3 Masters World Cup series and 2 Trans-Tasman series, one of which was a series win in Australia. He must have had an awesome team. Along with his 7 playing, he's got 47 managing tests for a total of 54. His impact on the sport and on so many of us has been immense. He has become more than just a teammate or a coach. He's become part of my family. I've actually lost count of how many times a quick 30-second call and an eye roll from me before I answer has turned into an hour-long, lifelong chat. You don't just do that with anyone, but have a special person that really matters. And of course, through all of that, he remains reliably addicted to peanut butter and still manages to throw wild accusations every time he loses his stuff. It's a genuine honour for me to present this cap to my good mate and proxy brother, Dave Bungie Russell.
Right, we are doing the next one. I apologise a little bit on the fly. The person who was going to do it is away sick, so I'm going to put Mr. Paul Anderson on the spot and ask him to come forward and do the next one.
All right, our next recipient seems to have gold every time he touches the team. So he started in 2019 with us in the Masters World Series in Cape Town in the 35s grade, where we were victorious. He then sort of moved over to the women's path and helped the 2022 women in Melbourne win a silver medal. And he is travelling to Sri Lanka with us with the 22s this year. Along the way, he's won provincial titles with CD. He even won a Club World Series this year with the Barbarians in Dubai. So, to Daniel Batley, congratulations.
Come take a seat up on the stage, please. So tonight we're going to be inducting somebody else into the Hall of Fame, and Warren's here to welcome them along. But we've asked another iconic person to kind of put this together for us and do a bit of a speech and welcome this person. And as soon as we know who it is, we might invite them up so they can soak it up and enjoy it. But I'll ask Mr. Robbie Kerr to come up and talk a little bit about this.
Well, it's an absolute privilege to be invited to speak and to announce the second Hall of Fame inductee, and we've actually got some other royalty here tonight. Ewan Chatfield, the great Chats, the 99 Express. I'm glad you're here, Chats, because I've got the very great honour of announcing Ness Chatfield as the second Hall of Hall of Fame. So if you come up, Ness, and I'll say a couple of words. really here to talk about Ewan Chatfield, but he was he was a tough bugger. B, he didn't get the recognition he deserved, and that's carried down the line because Ness, she's tough, she's very, very good, but she hasn't had anywhere near the recognition that she deserves with our great sport. And I've been told to be brief, so I will be. Ness played most of her indoor cricket for Valley Indoor Sports, and many of you in this room will know how famous the Valley Indoor Sports Centre was when it was still going. And she was the star of the show in the women's side, and took on all the jobs, and was consistently an outstanding player that saw her go on to play for Wellington and then also New Zealand. And we've already seen tonight there's a number of people who have played a lot of games for New Zealand, and Ness is, I don't know how many, Ness, but you're 50 plus based on where you were standing a few minutes ago. We all dream of winning world titles, and there are people in this room who have won world titles, and that's incredible. To trump that would be to play in a world final and put together a match-winning partnership against the mighty Australians of, I think, 46 or 47 runs, and take your team and your country to a world title victory. And I congratulate you on that, Ness. A wonderful moment that you will never forget. Ness was a fine player. I was coaching the Wellington women's side at one stage, and Ness was about 15 years retired from playing, and we were one short at short notice. And I said, Ness, would you come and play? It'll just be sort of a nothing game at the just before semis. You won't have to do much. And anyway, we played Ness in the first game of the tournament just to see if she's any good, and she was. And my two girls were playing, and they said, geez, Ness is good. And she ended up making our top 8 and just battered the house down from nowhere. So we saw your class on the court that day, Ness. But I've seen your class far more than on the cricket court. Ness has helped me run junior indoor cricket in Wellington for a long time. It's been going for over 30 years. You were there for all of the 30 years, Ness. You're a lot younger than me, but Ness was an absolutely brilliant manager of World Series cricket. If the staff stepped out of line, they were told they'd stepped out of line, and things ran very, very smoothly from there. But the amount of young children who have benefited from your organisation, that goes unnoticed. But I noticed it, and you were amazing. You really were. And then I was very lucky as a parent, because my two daughters got to play in 2 junior indoor cricket World Cups, and Ness was the manager both times, and they built a bond with Ness, and they would both tell me that, Ness, I think I'm Ness's favourite. But that was the skill of the manager. Everyone thought Ness, they were Ness's favourite, and she had time for everybody. I think there was actually, it's quite ironic that you two are sitting together, because I think Warwick was manager of a team and you were somewhere else. But Ness was a wonderful manager, and Millie and Jess still like to catch up with Ness. So we have an absolute champion on the stage in Warwick who started the sport in New Zealand effectively, and you've been joined, Warwick, by a very special woman who's contributed so much. I'd like you to stand and give Ness.
Just before you do, we've actually got a couple of videos I'd like to play.
And I'll put together a couple of videos as well.
Hey Ness, really special to see you being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Some of my greatest childhood memories were one, playing indoor cricket, but a big reason for that was everything you did for me, and I'm sure many others. The greatest manager, teammate, friend, you were just there for everything, and you did it so seamlessly. So to see you be recognised tonight for all you've done for the game is truly well deserved. So thank you and enjoy tonight.
Everyone, hi Ness. I bet you're a little surprised right now, but hopefully in a good way. It's truly an honour to celebrate this incredible achievement with you, and I couldn't think of anyone more worthy, my friend. Your passion and love for the game is second to none, and has been as long as I've known you, which is quite some years. When we think of indoor cricket, we think of much more than just a run scored or the wickets taken. We think of the community, the camaraderie, the laughs, and yes, those unforgettable moments that lead to great stories, and you have many. Today we not only celebrate you as a player, a World Cup champion, a manager, a mentor, a facilitator, and a New Zealand board member with 53 caps to your name, but also a true advocate for the game. You've shown what it means to be a true champion on and off the court, and I thank you for that. On behalf of everyone in the greater world of indoor cricket, and for me personally, all of those that you have touched with your dedication and your passion, I'd like to say thank you. So enjoy the moment. Here's to you, my friend. Congratulations.
Kia ora everyone, I've been asked to say a few words for Ness, who's being inducted into the New Zealand Cricket Hall of Fame, an incredible achievement, one I'm not surprised about. Yes, you've played for New Zealand, represented your country, which is something not many people get to say. But like Dad, it's your service to the game, and to always give back to the game and to so many people is what speaks volumes to your character. As a young kid, I know World Series indoor cricket wouldn't have been possible without you. It was the highlight of so many kids' weeks, including mine. Then to go on to manage so many New Zealand age group indoor cricket teams, I again was the lucky one that had you as a manager. Someone who understood the game and was competitive, but yet had this kindness and so much care for the people around you. You were someone that we could always go have a cry with, but always have a laugh with as well. You are so deserving to be inducted into the New Zealand Cricket Hall of Fame. You've changed so many people's lives for the better and given back to this game that needs more people like you to continue to grow indoor cricket in New Zealand. You've created and built a legacy of your own, and I thank you for all that you have done for me personally. Enjoy the celebrations tonight.
Over to you, Robert.
That is one very, very special person with some high and deserved praise. Please be upstanding for Vanessa Chatfield.
We've got one more award to do tonight, and then we'll have a bit of a break. So we've got one more inductee to go into the Hall of Fame tonight, and again a really special person for the sport and for the game. Has done an absolute amazing amount. I'm going to get Mr. Paul Wattrell to start speaking, and once we find out who it is, we'll ask him to join us up on the stage.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you all. The New Zealand Hall of Fame. Am I going to story now? Okay. The next person inducted into the New Zealand Hall of Fame is New Zealand men's player cap number 6. He's got 28 caps for New Zealand. His first coach is on the stage. I'm going to ask him some questions about it a little later on, but he played Search New Zealand in 85, 87, 92 and 94, and World Cups in 95 and 98 as captain. He's on played Masters for New Zealand at least 2016 and 2024. He was a keeper who dominated games on the court when keepers dominated games. He was a captain who controlled and inspired his teammates and led to many, many, many titles. Of all of it, the man could bat, he could bowl, he could field, but he loved nothing more than when his little dribbly in-swingers knocked guys' poles open, he could celebrate. That was the greatest moment for him. Robbie, if you could come and join us. Robbie, if you come and join us and speak to us. Zealand ladies in 2014 and 2015. And he's been an advocate for women's indoor cricket from a time when women's indoor cricket just had no advocates. He stood up and promoted the game and promoted the game, and he has been there for the game for as long as, well, to be in this group, none of us can remember so far back we've known each other so long. He has done more for women's cricket in this country than anyone I've ever met. He's got a long involvement as administrator and venue owner, Petone into sports, Porora into sports, but for me, he was just a calm head. When you're an emotional, crazy man like me, having somebody you can speak to, when you need a moment to make a good decision, you need somebody around you who's calm. And he was the calm presence for New Zealand and has been for so long. I think though of all the contributions that he's made to me, can I ask you, if you play for Wellington in this event, can I ask you to stand up? If you play for Wellington in this event, can you stand up? If you play for Wellington in this event, can you stand up? If you played World Series cricket, junior indoor cricket, under Robbie's program, can you stay standing, please? The difference that junior indoor cricket programs make to creating the players that play for us, the players that keep our centre open, that is the difference that keeps this game going and has kept Wellington as a powerhouse of the sport. The people up here all ran amazing junior cricket competitions. Robbie started in 1990. Honestly, neither of us had grey hair back then. It's that long ago. Of all the stuff we've done, Robbie, I don't believe in the cricket would exist in Wellington without the players playing provincially, club, in-house, going out and talking the game up, who learnt the game through your competition. Can I ask you once again, please, to welcome Robbie Kerr to the New Zealand Hall of Fame.
Everyone, I'd like to say a few words for Dad. And I thought it'd be rude if I went off the cuff and thought I should write something down and prepare, since he always tells me to prepare for things. So, Dad, it's hard to put into words the impact you've had on me as a player, and more importantly, a person. I wouldn't be who I am or the cricketer I am today without your guidance. I know I'm not the only person that feels this. I know that there are so many people who would say the exact same thing as me. That Robbie makes you feel valued, seen and special. That he believes in you and encourages you. That he helps you understand the game plan, to work hard and most importantly, to be a good teammate. I don't think you can meet a better person than Dad. What I've always admired about Dad is his wisdom, his ability to problem solve any situation, his generosity, kindness and empathy. Dad, you changed so many people's lives for the better. You're one of the greatest friends, teammates, coaches, mentors and counsellors. You wear so many hats for so many people. Whoever has Dad in their life is an incredibly lucky person. And both Jess and I have won the lottery to have you as our dad. There is no one more deserving to be inducted into the New Zealand Indoor Cricket Hall of Fame. Your service to the game as a player and the way you've given back to the game from the grassroots up speaks volumes to your character. It is always you saying you are proud, but I'm so proud to be your daughter. Love you lots, Millie.
Good evening everyone. For those who have no idea who I am, which is probably a few of you, my name is Dave Fulton. I am New Zealand men's player number 13 and have been asked to say a few words regarding Mr. Robbie Kerr, who has been inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight. I first began playing indoor with Robbie in 85-86 in the Super League, when I believe Robbie was probably at Petone at that stage, playing with guys like Stu Robb and Darren Lowndes and Heath Davis, and I was at the cricket wicket. We then managed to make a New Zealand team together in 87, toured Australia for a couple of weeks, and then again in 89 when we made the New Zealand team to play Australia and Sockburn, where we managed to tip them over in a test series with some legendary players like Wayne Anoka, Stu Jensen, Stu Robb, Phil Hollings, Simon Dill, Chris Harris and the infamous Tony Watkins, and then another series in 92 at Raw Lake where we went down in a very tight series 3-2 to Australia. Robbie also brought me back into the game after a bit of an absence in 2015, 2016 where I played Super League for the Masters team for the Wellington side, which also got me into the 2016 World Cup over 50s team, and then later on South Africa in 2019. So brought me back into the game, which was great, but can't really think of anybody more deserving to be inducted into the Hall of Fame than Robbie. Not just as a player, but a captain, coach, mentor, centre owner. There's not really a lot that Robbie hasn't done for the game, and also projected in a very positive manner in any way he's been involved. So congratulations on tonight and your inducteeship, if that is a word. Congratulations to all the players at the tournament and the winners, and all those who've travelled without the tournaments to keep the indoor name out there. It'll just die a death, so keep going and let's make indoor a #1 sport. Cheers, have a great night.
Robbie Kerr, Dad, very special to see you receiving this award tonight, and I don't think anyone is more deserving. You've given back so much, and for years I've seen you hand out multiple awards and prizes, so it's nice to see you being recognised and celebrated tonight. Thank you for all you've done for the sport, for me, for others. I think everyone would agree that you're an absolute legend of the game and a quality human being. The best dad, coach, mentor, all of the above. So love you, thank you, and well done.
One of only a group of 12 New Zealanders who've ever won the cricket test series against Australia. The only one to get the father in the cricket players has gone on to become the ICC Cricketer of the Year and outdoor cricket. Let's have one more round of applause for Robbie before Tommy Thank you, Robbie.
Well, we're going to take a well, actually, it'll be about a 15-minute break, so you've got